Skip, you predicted they would win, and
Barely.
you thought it would be close.
I did.
So how do you feel about the Cowboys today?
I thought the Ravens would score 17 because that was my score prediction, 20-17. And Dak actually proved me wrong again because he scored 27 instead of just the 20 I thought it would take to win this game over the Ravens. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. And I got to go back to September 6th. I told you on our first day of this show's history that in all my years of covering pro football back to the mid-1970s, I'd never seen anything like this kid through 3 preseason games. And of course, you, right on time, and you should have said this to me, it's just the preseason.
Yep.
But I said the poise, the accuracy, the maturity, the stature he showed me in the pocket at Seattle in that third dress rehearsal preseason game when Romo was knocked out on the third play. And Dak stood in against that blitz time and time again. And I said, this is real. And now, through 10 games at 9-1, and I'm going to remind you, Dak, if you look back at the numbers, played plenty well enough to win the opening day game against the Giants. If you look at the numbers, his QBR that day was 60, and they had every statistical category was plus Dallas in that game, except the final score was 20-19 because Measly Beasley dropped a touchdown pass on the 2-yard line early, and my man Des Bryant failed to control a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone mid-game. That was the difference in 20-19. So now we come up to 9-1 Dallas. And again, I'm going to say it, in all my years of covering this game, I've never seen anything like what this kid keeps doing. And furthermore, anything like how little credit he's now getting for what he does. I don't think the world's buying in yet. I don't think the world has really discovered Dak Prescott because I don't feel, maybe you do, but I don't feel any phenomenon like the Tebow-esque phenomenon, the Cam-esque phenomenon when Cam exploded onto the scene, even Cam dabbing through last year's MVP season. I just don't feel it. I don't get it because it's too subtle. He's doing it slowly but surely. He's doing it methodically. He's doing it unspectacularly. He doesn't dab. He doesn't have a celebration. He doesn't even do this because the show gets stolen by his running back doing this time and time again. He's the more exciting player. And so it's like, well, it's the running back. It's the offensive line. They haven't played that hard. I keep hearing all of the above. And I told you 2 weeks ago in New York City, what was that? Actually, a week ago in New York City, I said, he's my midseason MVP. And now to me, he should be running away with MVP. And I don't hear a peep about that. Yesterday was Dak Prescott's greatest achievement to me because as we talked about on Thursday, we didn't have a show on Friday, this was his toughest test. This was a grown man football team, the Baltimore Ravens, that knows how to play football. This team threw everything at Dak Prescott, including blitz after third quarter blitz, and he burned it again and again and again, especially on the little slant touchdown to Des Bryant that he carried Young into the end zone on. And the reason he's doing it is because he's a grown man quarterback. He's 23 to me going on 33. And got off to a little bit of a shaky start, which we've seen him do a couple times. And then once it kicked in about the 5th series, listen to these drives. 10 plays, 92 yards, 13 plays, 88 yards, and then the clincher to ice the game, 13 plays, 72 yards, with 0 turnovers. 0 turnovers. So against the Ravens, he threw for 301 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. His team had 0 turnovers, and I don't know what's not to like about this. QBR yesterday of 98.4, and Joe Flacco after the game is saying, we should have beat that team. Yeah, Joe, you need the football to beat that team, and he won't give it back to you. Maybe Flacco's right, because we saw what happened early in the game. Boom, 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 just ran the ball right down their throats. We get that. The defense isn't very good. The quarterback and his offense is winning time of possession every game, dominating the NFL. Number 1 in time of possession, number 1 in time per scoring drive. That's how you win. That's MVP. When will the world wake up and realize Dak Prescott is dominating the league this year as a fourth-round rookie? And again, I have never, ever seen anything like this.